Hello wonderful people of the internet, my name is Caroline Kihugu. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In case you're new here, welcome, and if you've not already subscribed, kindly consider subscribing. Today I have a friend with me. He was here some time back, you didn't see his face. We were talking about Forex, and let me give him the chance to tell us his name and what he does.
Hello, good evening. My name is Joseph Ruido. I'm the CEO and founder of Best Trend Consultants. We are part of the Ruido Group. We are focused more, as a consulting firm, we are focused more about taxation, audits, financial consultancy, and management consultancy.
Today I would like to talk about tax, and I would like for him to explain to us about tax. Everybody is complaining about tax. Tax is very high. What is this tax, Mr. Jamboya, Mr. Riru?
So, tax is a form of payment to the government, precisely to explain it in layman terms. It is the amount of money that you pay to the government at the end of the day. For any business you do, for any income that you incur, there are various many types of taxes, and generally it's a payment to the government. And tax helps the government in order to finance its own operations, to be able to maybe pay its workers, pay for development, pay for all the other services that we get. Yeah.
Who should pay tax and when should one start paying tax?
So everybody should pay tax. According to the current Kenyan law, is that once you are 18, you should be able to get a tax KRA PIN. That's you should be able to get a KRA PIN. That's the Kenya Revenue Authority personal identification number. That will enable you to pay tax. But the person who should pay tax is anyone who is earning an income, whether from business, whether from employment, whether from anywhere. As long as it's not illegal money, you should be able to pay taxes on that. So everybody is liable, and they are mandated by the Kenyan Constitution 2010 to be able to pay tax.
Why should I pay tax?
Because when you pay tax is when you are able to enjoy government services. It might not be the case, but that's what is envisioned in our Constitution. Once you pay tax, you are able to be able to achieve a better service delivery. You can be able to notice that through the years. Maybe it might not be noticeable to some of us who have come up in the digital era, but if you lived before 2002, 2007, 2012, you can be able to notice that there has been some changes in the country. You can be able to see more hospitals, you can be able to see more roads being built, a better railway system, better airports, more than one airport. All this public infrastructure has been built using our money. Look at our public schools, maybe secondary schools and primary schools. They have been built using public money, and public money comes from taxes. So you should pay tax because it's going to help not only you, but your fellow neighbor. Someone who is maybe unable to earn an income from their day-to-day life, that can be able to be taxable. Now, there is something you ask me, who should pay tax? Maybe for the employed people, anyone earning above 24,000 shillings, they are able to pay. And in a business setup, there is what we call turnover tax. For anyone with a business above 500,000 to 1 million, there's a change in the Finance Bill 2023, so you need to confirm with that. But anyone earning 500,000 to 1 million Kenya shillings, you should be able to pay turnover tax. It's currently at 3%, but anyone above that should be able to pay tax. Now, there is a confusion, Carol, between taxes and levies from counties. Levies are charged by counties, but when it comes to taxation, it's given by the Kenya Revenue Authority, that's the KRA, who we all love and all hate at the same time. So we are all liable to pay taxes, we are all liable to pay levies altogether. Yeah.
You've talked about pay, and I've also had VAT. Yeah. Are there various categories of tax?
Yeah, we have different various categories of tax. Maybe I can talk about I can mention almost every one of them, but I'm going to talk about mostly the common ones. We have what we call pay as you earn. That's one tax that is levied against people who are employed. We have income tax. That one is levied against people who also earn something. That's business people who are not who don't have what we call companies or what we have. But we also have company income tax. That one is levied to companies. We have withholding taxes. This one is levied to consultants. It is levied to professionals like lawyers, accountants. We have people like architects, such kind of people. We also have something like VAT. VAT is charged to the end user, and it's charged to businesses that are worth more than 5 million Kenya shillings. They have a revenue of more than 5 million shillings per year. So that is where VAT comes in. Then we have excess duty. Excess duty is charged as a luxury. It is termed as a luxury tax. It is charged to goods that we actually buy to be able to live in luxury. Things like cars, things like alcohol, things like fruits, not fruits, but generally fruit juices, ama hizi tunaenda kwa supermarket we buy some things like that. So that's where excess duty comes in. We have import duty. This charged by for products that are imported into the country. Are we together? We also have export levy. This one was actually introduced lately. We have export levy. This one is charged to products that are actually imported into the country, but they can be made within the country. Are we together? Things like furniture. Now, from actually 1st August, when you import something and it can be actually be made in the country, you are going to pay an export revenue duty, which is actually from 10 to 17% based on the type of commodity that you import. Yeah. So those are the different categories of taxes that we pay.
How much? How do you know how much you should pay for tax?
Okay, for you to be able to know what you should pay for tax, you should be able to get into your maybe iTax if you are a personal individual or my individual. If you are a company, you can also use the company iTax also to be able to calculate the different levels of and categories of taxes that you should pay. This one is based, the KRA is actually very user friendly. It helps you calculate on your own. There is what they call the voluntary disclosure tax assessment. That's what they use. You are able to voluntarily disclose what you should pay. Now, if you write to them, they are going to know, because they are the ones who are helping you to understand what you should pay. So you can only log into your iTax and be able to know how much of taxes you are supposed to pay. You can also visit the KRA offices. They are available in every county, and we also have regional headquarters and the national headquarters, which is at Times Towers in Nairobi. You can be able to go to one of those offices. In your county headquarters, you have them. In your regional headquarters like Vika, you have Nairobi, you have Mombasa, you have places like Nakuru. All those places, you can be able to actually go there and find how much tax you owe.
What is iTax?
iTax is an online-based platform that has been developed by KRA to enable taxpayers to file their own tax returns in an easy way. Now, it is user-friendly, but professional advice, I would advise you to consult the services of maybe an accountant or a registered tax agent. Tax agents are people who have been licensed by KRA to maybe assist citizens on how they can be able to file their taxes. They are very crucial on what they do. So iTax is an online platform. You can be able to log in as long as you have your KRA PIN and password. And also the password, you can be able to call the KRA hotline, or you can be able to visit the offices and maybe have get your password or reset your password if you forgot, and you'll be able to access the iTax.
So does it mean I can pay my own tax with a phone?
Yeah, you can. It is very much possible. It's actually one of the best ways to stay tax compliant. You can be able to access your phone, use iTax, and maybe know how much taxes you owe, and be able to pay that. Yeah.
You know, I've heard some people argue that hatutafile returns due. Okay, they have named the president Zakayo, and they say hatutafile returns juu Zakayo atazikula. What would your advice be to such people?
Okay, one thing, huwezi potelea taxes. And this is one of those things where if you wait too long, you are going to bear the biggest consequences. You are going to bear the brunt of this. So my advice to these people would be, just pay your taxes. You can't run away from taxes. Whether you like it or not, you can't run away from taxes. So the best platform for you is pay your taxes.
What happens in case of tax avoidance?
Okay, one thing I need to clarify, Carol. If you can find a way to avoid tax, it's actually semi-legal to use a word, but tax evasion is illegal. It is what we call a grey area, but KRA is seeking to sponsor bills and laws in Parliament that will actually clarify the difference. But for now, the worst thing you can do is evading tax. What do I mean by this? You can be able to see the story about Kiroshe. So Kiroshe might be under-reporting their profits, so which means they are going to pay less company income tax. So when the KRA audits them, that's not tax avoidance. It's tax evasion. Are we together? It's a very bad thing. So when you have to pay tax, please do. That's the only advice I can give you. Pay taxes. Don't look for quick ways to fix this problem. It's not a problem that is going away. To address the issue about the president being referred to as the Kai, the president found an economy that, in his own words and his deputy's words, that was dilapidated. We have all seen that. The public coffers, that's the public accounts, had no money. So the president needed to take some sort of action to enable him to work for the people. And the only way a country can be able to support itself, it's through taxes. We have been having a case where only employed people have been paying taxes, but now we are trying to expand our tax base. That's why we have the export levy. That's why we have increased import duties. Are we together? Yeah. This one helps the country grow because we are able to boost. So paying taxes is a duty. It's a constitutional right. It's a constitutional mandate that we have to do as each and every Kenyan. Don't avoid taxes. Don't evade taxes. Yeah.
You've heard people you should not avoid tax, and from what I understand, if you do not earn and you already have a KRA pin, it's always nice. It's always legal and advisable to file nil returns. So for those of you saying that I will not file nil returns because it's a Kayo, which is rude, by the way, calling the president that, will steal it. You've heard from our consultant today, Mr. Ruiru, it is illegal. So, and from whatever I understand is, if you avoid filing even the nil returns, there is a penalty which will affect you in case you want to even buy a piece of land in the future, because you will need your tax compliance certificate. In case of penalties, Mr. Ruiru, how do I start paying the penalties? Or do I pay the whole amount, or is there a way that I can negotiate with the KRA and maybe pay in installments?
What actually happens with penalties, actually, Carol, is that at the end of the day, KRA gives us waivers, especially individual taxpayers. This one doesn't actually necessarily happen for companies, but on individual taxpayers, the KRA actually gives us waivers. You can be able to apply for a waiver. If you are a student and you have not been filing returns, you can be able to apply for a waiver and say that I have not been filing returns because I did not know or something. But sometimes they consider they might even have the penalties or even scrap out the penalties in entirety. So what you need to do, if you have interest, if you have arrears, if you have penalties, especially penalties, what you need is to be able to apply for a waiver. KRA will consider it after a certain given amount of time. They are going to consider the waiver, and from there they are going to tell you the decision. If they decide to give you the waiver, then you are good to go. And the waiver means that you will not pay any penalties. And sometimes they have a waiver maybe for a whole year. I've not confirmed for the current financial year, but I'm 50% sure that by December they will be given a waiver for the 2023-2024 financial year. So you should be on lookout for that, because they are trying to attract more people to pay their bills. Yeah.
My people, you've heard from Mr. Ruiru, pay your tax, tulipe ushuru, tujitegemee. You talked about your consultancy. Would you like to talk more about it?
Maybe I can take a minute, Caroline. What we normally do is advise you on how to run your business, help you run your business. If you have a problem running your business, we help you do that. We help you process your payrolls, we help you pay your VAT, pay your pay with your holding tax, pay your income tax. We also help you as a business cover your what we call audits. Audits are very important. They help you identify the areas you are making money, the areas you are losing money, where you are stagnating. This is all part of what we do. It actually helps us a lot. But to top it all, our most important part in this is advising clients on how to improve their businesses. Because people open businesses and they have a problem. But when we come in as a Ruiru Group and as Best Consultants Limited, we try to ensure that your business becomes profitable within the shortest amount of time possible. And we have our charges, but we are not going to talk about that. We talk about our charges with the client directly. But if you want to access our services, you can always get us at Vika Town, Nema Plaza, that floor. But don't fear away. Don't lose hope in your business. Your business is actually salvageable if it's going bad. If it's going good, it's always good to do an audit. Are we together? An audit helps you observe what is actually happening. Are we together? Another quote is that if you're running a company, understand there is a difference between company finances and personal finances. A company should be run with what we call an income expenditure dividend model, Where you earn income, it give you are able to spend that money to cover the process of running that business, and what remains is what we call dividends. These dividends is not, remember, it's not profits altogether.
Yeah.
Profits are what we get after income and expenditure, but the model is actually dubbed income, expenditure, dividend. Why do we say that? Because dividends is what you give to the owner of the business. Profits, dividends are what you get after maybe giving some money back to the company to be able to improve on services, to be able to improve on infrastructure. So that is what I have to say. Visitors, call us, visit our offices. Yeah.
You've heard that Neema Plaza Thika, that floor. They're also on Facebook, they are on Twitter, they are on, even, are you on Instagram?
Yeah, we are also on Instagram.
What are your account handles?
Best Rent Consultants. Yeah, that's
everywhere.
Everywhere. That's our handles. Best Rent Consultants.
I will also put them in the description bar. Kindly call them, tell them Caro sent you to them. Till next time, bye.